Welcome back to Starting Lineup. Let's shift our attention to the epic volleyball weekend in the UAAP, and we're still joined by our rising star, our resident analyst, Jamie Lavitoria.
I don't know.
Yes.
Are
you
you sure about
are.
that?
I think she's a star.
You're already a star,
thanks.
but I mean,
That's what it is.
you get my point, Jay.
That's what's up.
Thanks, guys.
That's what's up.
Jay,
Thanks, guys.
we had a lot of big games over the weekend.
Yes.
And the theme of the Final Four has been upsets.
Yes.
So I want to talk about the NU-FEU game first in the women's division. NU had that twice-to-beat advantage. They beat UST in their preliminaries. They also beat LaSalle. What happened? They were totally off their game. I mean, not to discredit FEU. They
of course.
followed their game plan. They served heavy. But what are your thoughts on NU's game?
And by the way, they beat FU twice also
Yes,
in the
in the
elimination
elimination.
round.
So with NU, I mean, start from the first round, a bit shaky, and then second round, they were peaking. But this game really showed that there's really no safety in the UAP. And with NU, they silenced a lot of their spikers. The middles had no production. Aaron and also Solomon.
Sheena.
A bit shaky as well. Her usual production is maybe above 13 to 14 points, but she also had a lot of attack errors. And Bella was the only player that reached the double digits. So as you can see, it's not enough. We all know it can't just be a one-man team. You need the support. You need everyone to split the load.
Bella, to her credit, all season long, wins or losses, she really is the most consistent
Yes.
there with a national university. I did say this. I remember I was with Ayel, one of our friends, of course. We were doing, I don't know if it was the UST FEU game, and I did say that FEU, no matter who the matchup will be, LaSalle, UST, or NU in the Final Four, they're going to be a tough out.
Yeah.
I don't know why people are underestimating them. And that was the game, by the way, that they beat UST in the Ninoy Aquino Stadium when me and Ayel were together when we said that. What was the key? And were you surprised that it was 3 sets, not just that defeat, that it was a 3-set dominant win by FEU?
Well, I was expecting a better performance, of course, from NU. I was expecting at least 4. But I have to say, Tin Ubaldo was the game changer in that game. And I remember covering her matches last season. You can see that there's a lot of hesitation in her decision-making. Of course, she's trained by the OG, Tina Salak, and you can see that she's maximizing Jean Assis, Mitz. Also, you have Faida Bacanque, who's the foreign student athlete who has really come into full bloom. You
Yeah,
can see
second
that.
round, she really,
And her
came to
aura,
that.
as well, I think it also just goes beyond points. It's her vibe, her smile, and I also gotta give credit to Tagaod, Chen Tagaod. She's their veteran spiker on that left pin, and when they need that immediate side out, Tin really leads to Tagaod.
And Neil, they looked so loose in that game in the Final Four. Their energy was great, and NU has been up and down mentally the last couple of years. Here's a good test for them.
Yeah, I've always thought na itong FEU kasi para silang wild card when it comes to
Yes.
performance. There are games na makikita mo na sobrang off sila. But when they are on, they are totally
On
on
point,
and they
yeah.
catch fire. So I love that you mentioned Tin Ubaldo being mentored by Tina Salak because I actually think that she's like the younger parang
Salak.
Ina
Yeah, in the
Salak.
making, in
Na
the
parang
making.
pinattern nila sa men's yung setting style. So wala lang, I just really loved what you said about that. But now Jay, let's focus on the
That's why
match
she's-
that you
that's why
covered.
she's the star.
Yeah,
That's
you
why
are
you're the star.
I want to focus on the match that you covered. That was a big one. Boom, you also
Crazy
covered that
game.
one. It was the LaSalle and UST
Yep.
game. And UST didn't need their twice-to-beat advantage. They won that nail-biter of a game in 5 sets, and they dethroned the defending champions. Nobody saw that coming. I mean, UST became instant favorites to enter the final round.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
people wanted a do-or-die game.
Yeah.
Well, that game yesterday's game, I have to say UST was able to control the pace, control the tempo of the game. Cassie Carvalho, knowing who to set at the right time, Jonah Perdido, and what me and Boom saw, their attacks were not the strongest and very simple, just checking off on that block. And you can see that everyone is providing support, right? You have Dete Pepito in the back, manning the back, being that leader, being that vocal leader. But I was really impressed, of course, with Poyos, right? We know that she can deliver, but we also said in the game that she exudes that silent confidence, and just to think she's only a rookie,
Yeah, she's the first time in that situation.
in a big stage like that. So hats off to UST.
All right, we gotta also talk about LaSalle. Now, I did say, 12 of the last 13 finals, or 14,
Yeah.
they won't be there the next. So this is a tremendous program. We know that with a tremendous head coach. We already know that. What are your thoughts on them fizzling out in that that Final Four? Angel Canino, obviously her conditioning still not there.
Yep.
And what are the prospects for LaSalle moving forward?
Well, to add to that, Boom, a huge factor that Angel Canino did not play in 5 games, and it affected her attacking, but it also affected her service receive. You can see that she was the target, and a lot of her receives were a bit short, where it was forced to go for that bump set. Tolentino rather had to step up. But I mean, you had Baby Jean Sereno, you had Thea Gagate.
She was tremendous
on
yesterday.
point.
Yeah.
But it did boil down to the breaks of the game. UST was able to block towards the latter part, and it's, when it comes to crunch time, it's really the mental toughness that UST had over LaSalle.
Which to me, Neil, is the amazing part about this UST team, because this LaSalle, a lot of those LaSalle girls were in the finals last year. This UST team has no finals or big game experience, but they've delivered all throughout.
Yeah, I heard the post-game interview
Right.
of Detet Pipito. She really thanked the doubters because
I saw
people
that,
were
yeah.
counting them out because of their height. But
Right. Height and
actions
youth,
will
no?
always speak louder than words. And that was already a big statement in itself by dethroning LaSalle. So, mabilisan lang, Jamie. Ano sa tingin mo yung kailangan nilang gawin so that they can bring the crown back to España?
Well, from that game yesterday, when you looked at UST and LaSalle, it's definitely a mismatch in the physicality, I would say. UST, they are the shorter team, but it's their speed that prevails.
It's their pace,
and I think the sets to Perdido, to Poyos need to be more steady, a bit more of a shoot set to beat that block of whoever's going to win that game.
All right, now we have to remind everybody, Wednesday is going to be a triple header in Araneta. The first game, of course, will be NU versus DLSU. NU with the twice to beat. That's a tremendous matchup in the men's. UST FEU, you did that first game. That's going to be a knockout game also. We will have a separate episode on starting lineup for the men, so don't worry about that. And of course, the big one, FEU and NU for the right to meet UST in the finals. That's Wednesday in Araneta. Jamie, thank you very much
Thanks,
for being
guys.
here.